watching all the robots destroy themselves.
Yeah, it's in the RoboCop one somewhere we go on a search to see if there's any email porn out there.
Oh God.
Which I didn't find that, but I found a bunch of action figures, and I couldn't find any action figures of pre-toxic waste email. They don't make that one, because I was like, there should be like a Han Solo and Carbonite one, right, where you have the normal guy and he goes into the barrel and comes out all fucked up.
Nobody cares so much about email prior to that. Even when that actor has been in other things over the decades, all I imagine is him getting melted. I mean, that was another part that really bothered me in the movie as well.
And in the podcast, he's like, "No, we're going to talk about email a lot. We have to really focus on email." So, which I can get that. I can get behind that a bit. Yeah.
Well, I could see it getting a little excessive, perhaps, if you begin an email about email.
That can get confusing. No, it came up because on the game show, one of the games was to name a video game character who did not have any pages of pornography.
Oh my God. Whose browser did you use to do the research for that?
Luke had some site he was using for that, but
oh, good. Okay.
The winner ended up being like some old man that's barely in the game in Final Fantasy 14 or something.
That's not fair.
But not the cute PC video game creatures from 3 decades ago. Obscuro ones. But let's see what else we got. Yeah, Monday should still. Oh, sorry, that's my Monday. Your Sunday, I think, should be good for after hours. So,
okay,
which will be that 3 for. I'm getting. By the way, did you ever listen to the Spinal Tap podcast I did?
Yeah.
Okay, I had that dude come back in for a Twilight Zone. He might have topped your Serling.
That's fine.
No, I was just I was like, holy shit, that's a good impression.
Yeah, no, my Serling is a cartoon of Serling. It's not
right. Well, it's fun. I know. I get that. But I just he started doing his. I was like, whoa, that's a good one.
Yeah, just give him a whole bunch to read and record them. You know what I'm saying, and then just cut those in.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll start this one then, because I still need to take a shower before I leave.
Oh yeah, let's do it, man.
Hey everyone, it's Aural Hygiene. This is Matt. I got with me some kind of jack-off pervert making them pervert movies.
Hi.
Well, we could, if we, I think, how many seconds of that can we do before everyone just turns this shit off?
I don't know. I mean, you come in for the Aural and then you stay for the Hygiene.
Yeah, and the scratchy pervert voices.
Yeah.
I should say hi, Andrew. I should put a name on the pervert.
Thanks. First one's free. The rest are gonna cost you.
Yes, today's film we're getting educational. Do I do the intro? It's Aural Hygiene. It's called films, educational films, stuff. Today it's Perversion for Profit, a very educational film about perversion and what you can do about it by starting your lame ass committee.
Perversion committee. Actually sounds pretty cool. I might join one of those.
Was that like a new wave band, new romantic sort of band?
Perversion committee. Oh God, that's a missed opportunity right there. Wow.
Yeah, they opened for Joy Division.
Perversion committee.
So can you give the TV guide rundown for this when someone's watching it 8 p.m. on CBS?
Yes.
1964.
So this is a 1964 educational film.
I'm not sure about that number, by the way. Am I right?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, maybe 64, 65. It's about how to know all the different types of dangerous, perverted literature that's out there for your children.
And for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, there just seemed to be this overall concern that anyone who read it was just going to become a deviant, murderer, degenerate.
Yeah, pornography is for everyone.
Yeah. No, I've definitely got pretty progressive opinions about that. But my feeling was always like the host of this thing, he seems to be like the filth expert. And he's like, if you watched this, especially back then, I feel it is more perverted than any one of these things taken on its own, you know?
Well, he's one of those guys that seems to be getting off on what he's talking about.
Oh my God.
What kept coming to mind doing this was the youth suicide fantasy with all the,
Yeah.
because they had the same thing where they were really getting into the fact that these ladies were, you know, like doing this and that, right?
That's right. There was those two dudes that seemed, yeah, you know, they're the kind of guys that get the FBI finally busts them for the amount of quote unquote research material on their hard drive.
Yeah, somewhere in my notes, yeah, there's quite a smut collection George has there for research only,
God.
of course.
It's massive. You know, any time they're trying to show like all the examples of the really bad music or the really bad movies or anything else, they end up hitting you with this like kind of visual or audio assault of just the worst stuff. You know what I mean? And so it's way more harmful to present it that way than, you know, out of context.
Well, he does
And
say he's holding back on his smut. What
that's
I
true.
thought was weird is some of the photos were censored and some of the photos were not.
Yeah, the bodybuilder ones often were not.
Yeah, maybe that's what really got George off. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he was checking out all types of dick print. But whereas on these on the ones of women, especially, who was like, these will cause bestiality, which is the bestality. And he showed their women with their backsides exposed, and there's just big block over the crack.
Well, his family motto is it's not gay when it's in a three-way.
I haven't thought about that for a long time.
I should run the question by you because I don't think you and I ran across this at the same time. But did you have the woods porn experiences?
Have we not talked about this? The guy
We
that
probably
found. Okay, I never found adult material in the woods because it was free to look at in my house.
did.
Yeah, my dad was a biker, and so we had a subscription, like any good biker in the late 70s, early 80s, to Easy Riders magazine, which came in a brown wrapper, and typically a topless woman on the front, usually lots of tan lines going on. The whole premise of Easy Riders magazine was to be the antithesis of Playboy, whereas Playboy had the nice, really, you know, fogged lens, soft focus, you know, really kind of glamorous pictures. Easy Riders conceit was that these are just going to be road whores, just how they are. And so it wasn't a big deal to me. However, a kid named Scott did find pieces of a naked, you know, piece of a naked woman picture in the woods, and he then spent a great deal of his life in that year of school collecting as many pieces he could find, and then putting it together quite like a serial killer's jigsaw puzzle. Like that movie Pieces comes to mind, where that kid has that, you know, assemblage of women he's made. And yeah, he showed it to us when he finally finished. He's like, look, everybody, look what I've done. And it's all mangled. She just looks like who did it and ran. I mean, nothing sexy about what this looks like, you know. I mean, Frankenhooker just has the neck and the arms, you know, and everything. But this lady was just like a landmine reassembled.
Yes. See, you know, I was a Boy Scout, so we go camping, and you know, the rednecks would leave little batches of woods porn here and there.
But what were they doing in the woods with the porn? I mean, that's the thing that gets me. Like, why go in the woods with it?
I think they were leaving it for people like us to find, so the next generation could, you know, get their smut.
Oh my God, like Johnny Appleseed of, you know,
Pornography, yeah,
like just leave
exactly.
it. I don't know. My thought was always just like, I'm going to the woods. I'm going to masturbate, and then I will cover my leavings.
Maybe. I mean, who knows what madness runs in the minds of men. Yeah.
That's true. My shame will be found by a random camper, but hopefully a bobcat first.
By the way, I just like had one of those seconds just ripped out into an infinite moment because you were like any good biker, he had a subscription to, and I was like, he's gonna say Screw Magazine. He's gonna say Screw Magazine.
Oh no,
it's easy, right?
no, we didn't. I didn't see a Hustler. Playboy, we had a couple. We had like the Madonna issue and a couple of like the important collectors ones. But Playboy actually wasn't that great because very little of those magazines actually had naked people in them.
Yeah, I was just like, because that's the best magazine title ever. So I was just like kind of, I was just hoping that's what of course in the 60s they didn't have that. They had Snatch magazine. So
I don't know.
We saw several covers of Snatch magazine in this film. So
there was everything. That's what I'm saying. Like this movie, if you really wanted to know, like it seems just like a training thing for perverts. It's doing the opposite of what it's, I think, intended to do. Instead of condemning pornography, it instead like catalogs all the different types for you and shows you just a slew of, and doesn't it make it dirtier? You ever seen those things where they put like a black bar in front of a dog's penis or something like that?
Oh, I love the unintentional. I love the unintentional censoring memes and stuff. Usually it usually involves microphones, but
it does, and it just
I hold my microphone. I'm like ready for one of those unintentional censorings. Make that the new podcast image.
Right. It just is like, here's the dirty thing. And so putting a black bar over something, or even framing it the way they do in this, makes something seem worse than it really is. Which, I mean, if you think about it, let's be real. Boobs, very basic. Butts, very, very basic. Everyone's got that one. So like, really, who cares? I never saw. I never, even when I would look at pornography or read it or whatever, or I never felt like I was doing something really bad wrong.
Certainly someone has by now opened an actual bar following George Carlin's premise of a single bar is called Nipples and Dicks, right? I mean, I when I was working in Maine, we all had the idea that we'd I think I might have told you we were going to open the bar Shiver Me Timbers, a pirate themed bar, gender fluid pirate themed bar. So
well, this guy's talking about how easily kids could get this stuff. I mean, do you ever remember being able to easily go on your own and purchase adult material and from anyone?
This morning at the 7-Eleven, man, they rock things differently in Japan.
I mean, as a kid.
I mean, I do. Our 7-Eleven, when we had one, it had the smut corner.
Oh no, it did. I'm just saying, if you brought it up, and did you ever bring something like that up, be it music with the tipper sticker or any of that stuff?
Oh, I know we did
comics.
Okay, so because you were like the smut corner 7-Eleven, I'm like, oh no, I never did that, but yeah, sure. Both of us were going for tipper stickers and hoping that nobody cared.
Yeah, sometimes they did. It depended on what it was. I can remember going in to buy an Andrew Dice Clay tape, which I already had several, and Dad was somewhere else in the mall, and they're like, yeah, your dad's gonna have to like come over here and buy this. You can't buy this.
Yeah.
And my dad was like looking at it going like, what, asking the kid, the counter, like, well, what's on this? He knew what was on it, but he was making wanting the guy to say stuff. It was pretty hilarious.
It's like I heard the story with what Evil Dead. Well, there's one scene that's pretty racy in there, but maybe your 10-year-old can watch it.
It's true.
So,
oh god, yeah, no. Well, I guess this would be a good time to mention that in Doraville, we had a movie theater, the Beaufort Highway Twin. One side was mainstream Hollywood movies, and the other side was pornos, triple X theater.
That is dollar film second run. We should probably note. I mean, on the Hollywood side, I like to
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
porno is first run feature film.
I mean, who knows? But they really on 25 Cent Tuesday or whatever it was. The guy told me, and he looked really, really stoned. I think he's the older brother of a kid I went to school with. He was just like, "Which movie do you want to see?" And I'm thinking, the only one I can see. Like, was there an option for me here?
I'm late. Has the body fallen out of the closet yet?
Oh my god! Oh god! What movie was that?
Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalk. God, how do you remember that? Oh my god!
I don't know if that's right. It's definitely like a compound word of two nouns. No, it wasn't a Hellraiser, but it was something. I was just talking about like, oh, I've seen like every like non Jason Michael Myers slasher film made from 1985 to 1990, but I couldn't recall any titles. I could come up with like Popcorn. That was like it.
Oh, yeah, they were that was kind of the way it was. But as you can see, we all became murderers and deviants as a result of consuming that material.
That's right.
Yeah.
Only way to live, man.
Yeah. As far as triple X movie goes, that's something that wasn't really something that this educational film gets into. It's sticking purely with magazines and then some books as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's selling it stark nudity on slick paper. That sounds fantastic.
It does. Yeah, I'd like to know, like, just what was going on in this guy's. I would say basement, but he probably had one of those secret doors that you push, into the Chris Rock porn cave, is what Chris Rock called the porn cave.
About, I think it was like 20 years ago, Pete Townsend was arrested for having a bunch of child pornography on his computer. And he was like, I'm doing research to take people down, which sounded insane at the time. But then, well, hey, the BBC scandals, Jimmy Savile, all that stuff. Maybe he wasn't full of shit. I don't know. Or maybe he was part of it.
I don't know. God, the stuff about Jimmy Savile. Isn't there a documentary about him?
I'm sure there's several.
Okay.
I mean,
I remember.
It's funny. The Sex Pistols like called him out on TV in like the late 70s, so it was never like a secret to those in the know.
Yeah, the guy, he was like the Cosby and the Evil Knievel. Like, he was just the most kind of beloved guy, and then gross.
Right. So okay, a couple note takes here. One, I wrote that I bet George Putnam masturbated to Clockwork Orange a few years later.
He probably did.
So there's that. And then I was just thinking about a few years after his film made where Hendrix was kind of like offended by the Electric Ladyland album cover.
Yeah?
Yeah, he like didn't like it. That's why the American one just has that weird like kind of orangey photo of him.
Okay. I love that Electric Ladyland. It's because it's on like the inside or the back.
It's on the outside. It was the front cover of the UK version. I'm
talking about like in the US version.
I don't think it was in there at all in the US version.
No,
I didn't. Honestly, I never had that on vinyl, so I don't know.
Huh. Maybe I was thinking of the Appetite for Destruction.
Where they changed that one. I think did end up on the inside.
It had to end up on the inside.
It wasn't on the front cover.
Jimmy didn't like it. I know exactly the photo. That's pretty badass. Like, who wouldn't be proud to have that on their cover?
Yeah, I know that's
why.
Yeah, that's why I kind of thought it was like interesting. So, because Jimmy, you like, oh yeah, ultimate hippie man, wild and free. He's like, I don't know, man. I guess he just thought that his music wouldn't be taken as seriously. Might have been the thing, which I guess
that's a concern, because then they would focus on that art instead of what was inside the actual music content.
Yeah. In terms of this movie, though, I to just go with what you said earlier. I wrote that I think that this movie may be making me more of a horrible person. So
it seems to be what it was designed for, because like, who would be watching this? Like, church people, school administration?
Oh, this is a real good one for who is
law enforcement.
Probably they make you watch this after you've been convicted of some kind of sex crime. Or
See,
juvies, juvenile. I bet they showed on juvie.
yeah,
Because you got to get the juvie's attention, right? So make sure that there's even if you're talking bad about the smut, at least make sure the smut's there.
right.
So
Yeah, no, it's one of the dirtiest old movies I've ever seen, honestly.
yeah, I was kind of like I was just finishing it up this morning. I was like, gee, I hope the wife doesn't just kind of stumble on this one. This
Well,
19 mid 60s like movie with like a, with Putnam in it,
yeah, it's about a half hour or so, and most of that is just screen after screen after screen of these censored adult magazine photos, like either the covers or the insides. It's mostly what it is,
Yeah,
or this
and
guy talking. So you can't really get off to it because it keeps cutting back to the guy, and you gotta be like, ugh.
I'm just getting into well, if you're if you're going for all the athletic dudes, I mean, it might be okay.
True, there's a lot of that goes kind of uninterrupted, which is great. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's the idea that this will turn you gay. This is the way people thought back then, and a lot of them still do. Like you will be compelled to become gay. You walk in not gay, and you come out gay. Like, all right, well, good.
Oh, here's a question. Is cowgirl and lazy cowgirl two separate positions or just one? Because he brings them both up.
I don't. I think that one must have gotten by me. Cowgirl and lazy cowgirl.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, again, proving our point, like he's turning people on to stuff. They're like, most folks have no awareness of all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and make you aware.
Most folks have never thought about the sweet erotic sting of a whip.
Most folks don't have a rubber door on their house.
Yeah, I was just like, after when he's reading his book past him, like he just came at the end, didn't he?
I mean, what other conclusion could there be?
Yeah.
It just
I,
really.
I do like that he has to bring up the founding fathers, and don't we, we can't go back on their ideals of these God-fearing men. I'm like, well, Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson were both known to answer the door naked, and Ben Franklin has all sorts of like weird, disturbing sex stories. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was he was chasing tail in Paris apparently, and
yeah. I mean, he had nipple clamps for his nipple clamps.
yeah. Mozart's letters. Do you know this?
I don't
Mozart,
know. I was waiting.
the letters of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Let's see. I got it on my iPad here. This was prepped. This is a letter
Okay,
to
great.
yeah. This is where is I sorry, I got a few tabs. Here we go. Okay,
Now these
so
are letters to who?
this is to his female cousin. I am looking. Okay. And bien, I should mail fail it for sure. Oi, by the love of my skin, I shit on your nose so it runs down your chin. What else do we
Wow.
got? Here we go. Long live all those who, how does it go on? I now wish you a good night. Shit in your bed with all your might. Sleep with peace on your mind and try to kiss your own behind. This is to his
So
cousin.
yeah. Wow. As graphic as Two Live Crew and some of them would get, there was nothing like this.
No, I'm not finished, by the way. There's a couple more here,
Oh
which
no,
is
please do go on. This is
oh,
fabulous.
here he's talking about a sonata not being finished yet. So there is that. Um, here we go. There we go. As I am in the middle of my best writing, I hear a noise in the street. I stop writing, get up, go to the window, and the noise is gone. I sit down again, start writing once more. I have barely written 10 words when I hear the noise again. I rise, but as I rise, I can still hear something, but very faint. It smells like something burning. Wherever I go, it stinks. When I look out the window, the smell goes away. When I turn my head back to the room, the smell comes back. Finally, my mama says to me, I bet you let one go. I don't think so, mama. Yes, I'm quite certain. I put it to the test. Stick my finger in my ass, then put it to my nose, and There is the proof. Mama was right. Now farewell. I kiss you 10,000 times as I remain your Mozart.
That's great, man. That's like it. He should have. I mean, I'm not to take away from his accomplishments in the realm of classical music, but working for Hallmark, I feel like he may have missed the calling there.
He got a few music ones out too. Let's see, what do we have here? He has three that are at least dirty. There's Lek Meek and Ars. You could already work out a bit of that.
I was gonna say that.
But if you need Lek Meek and Ars geschwind, which is lick me in the ass quickly. This is a 6-voice canon.
Great.
Bonanox. Oh, he just uses the zingers from his letters in there, not just the one I read you, with others. Shit in your bed and make it burst. Good night, sleep tight, and stick your ass to your mouth. Okay, that's just a different translation of what I read you before. The lyrics, okay, the lyrics are in Latin, but if you translate it, you'll realize it doesn't make much sense. That's because Mozart wrote the piece for his friend Johann Nepomuk Merel, a baritone with a thick Bavarian accent. Mozart knew that when Merel would pronounce the Latin "Leg du mihi Mars," it would sound like the German "Leg du mich in Ars," which, as we already know, means "lick me in the ass."
A genius.
Some believe Mozart had Tourette syndrome, although the diagnosis has been debunked time and time again. He probably just liked dirty jokes. Sure, well, why not?
That's one of the things that I was happy about that this Perversion for Profit mentioned is early on in it, he does acknowledge that this, pornography and sexual deviant, as he calls it, were not new things. He at least acknowledges that it's been going on for years. He just says it's that speedy printing press and those speedy trucks.
Yeah, I'm just like, because he specifically mentions like late 18th century folks. I'm like, man, they were people with like, weird shit going on. So
yeah, apparently, like literally.
Oh, and then the nudist magazines, he's like, they're not really nudists, they're paid professional models. I'm like, yeah, it's a magazine. Why wouldn't they be? It'd be a little creepy if someone was in the bushes shooting the nudist colony.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, whoops. That
would be more of a problem, I think.
I heard from a friend that that's what happened.
They were paid. Oh, shit. What was he like? There aren't many blind people in nudist colonies.
I don't think I remember him saying that.
He did. I'm like, I mean, hey, if people want to feel the breeze on their balls, they might. It doesn't matter if you're blind or not, right?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it might be a great experience, except for if you get them hung on something.
Getting hung on something.
Whoops. I've got to watch out for my beanbag.
Yeah, but. Yeah, George just has that tongue for the sexy words. I think I want to have forbidden, perverted, gay sex with him. So. Yeah,
no, I think it's great. And I feel like this film could best be used for as ripping clips from it into, like, I don't know, techno music or.
Yeah, it's pretty sampleable.
There's a lot of good opportunities for sampling here. Also, music videos, mashups, and things like that, I think would be really, really great. But some of it could be read verbatim. Just be, wonderful.
I felt like I felt like I just lost that train of thought. Yeah. Okay. It was like a John Waters movie half the time. So
yeah.
It's got a very John Waters feel. Yeah.
Came to mind. Yeah. It's again, it's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, this thing that's by cataloging dirty things and by being very, very specific and graphic in its descriptions and depictions, it's actually just as bad or worse as what it's condemning.
Oh, he's asking questions at the end. He's like, would you go to your friend's house and expect to see this on their coffee table? Like, yeah, that'd be badass.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course you
And then
wouldn't.
I'm like, and then he brings up the idea. I'm like, oh, a door-to-door smut peddler. That's a great idea. Hey, that's a movie idea for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they used to do Avon, right?
Mm.
Or whatever it was. They'd come to the door selling makeup kits to or whatever the
So
newest
you got
makeup.
the Avon lady with like hardcore pornography of several different disturbing varieties.
Yeah, or like dildo lady, knock knock, dildos.
That hey, that I feel like that could happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice
or
upper class affluent neighborhood.
yep.
Send the dildo lady around.
Shower massage, shower massage.
That could be, but no, this movie just wants you to go out and be a Karen with the law as your weapon.
Yeah, well, we all know that usually, well, the old it's the same thing if somebody farts and then tries to blame someone else. The denier is the supplier.
Well, Mozart tells us how to prove or disprove, right?
Oh yeah, put your finger in the hole, now you got a tootsie roll.
Right, exactly. So yeah, and you need to take the well, actually, I guess he's not an elder. He died at what, 32? Does Mozart does not count as one of our elders. He died too young for that.
No, he unfortunately has fixated himself in a closet smelling his own brand. He got high on his own supply.
Yep. Okay. One I said I will throw him one bone. Yes, it's not cool when the age is a low number. So give a man a point when he makes a point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are lines to where your smut goes. So, and
True.
what age you're throwing smut at people. So,
Yeah. No,
like
that's true.
I mean, if you're getting Big Muff magazine to a 5-year-old, that's not cool.
No, and that's the kind of thing that could be sort of put up to question as far as what the way my parents handled it. And their thought was they just didn't want us to be think it was a big deal, but at the same time, um, depending on if your folks aren't around to explain it to you, and you're just sort of like left to your own device as far as like how you feel about it and how it's presented, I guess they felt like, oh, if I was sneaking around with it, then it would seem like a bad thing and there would be a whole complex about it. Whereas if it was kind of out in the open, it would be, but there was never like, hey, when you're done with Winnie the Pooh, mm-hmm. you might enjoy Jag Slaggers.
I think when my daughter was like 6, we were at the used bookstore and Japan's a little tricky, right? Because I looked through the manga, looks fine, and then later, my wife's like, hey, they're talking about periods and stuff, so she shouldn't be reading at age 6. I'm like, because it's super like happy looking manga with like bears and big eyes and all that sort of stuff. So it was basically, yeah, it's like, anyway, they made the rule like, don't just randomly buy Hana manga anymore. So I got her Draimon for a while. I was like, Draimon's usually safe, but
yeah,
like we were talking, Demon Slayer is super popular with like 4-year-olds in Japan.
Yeah, I watched that. I
Yeah.
watched that after you and I talked about it. I was like, I want to know what's up with Demon Slayer, and God.
But no, like 5-year-olds are watching it, so because it's cannibalism, gore. I mean, it's a good show, but yeah, it does, and it's like they do show it late at night in Japan, but someone, you record it, and because I was thinking we were like making this anime course, and our Japanese boss at the time was, how about Kimetsu, which in Demon Slayer, and we're like, is that okay? She's like, well, everyone's watching anyway, so we made a kids course based on it.
Oh my goodness.
Showing clips in class. So it is weird where the line is sometimes.
I mean, I still think it's best if you have some guidance with it. You know what I mean? That's kind of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than if you're just sort of left with it, because then you have no frame of reference. Like you might not even know what or why, and so someone needs to be there to explain it to you, I think.
But that does go back to the thing that it's not the media that's making people do horrible things. It's the horrible things happening in their mind that's making the horrible things happen. So
exactly, yeah. No, the whole thing about this or that will make you do this or that. I grew up during the time when it was definitely believed that I would become a Satan worshiping murderer due to the things that I listened to and read. Definitely would become gay because of Clive Barker's novels and comics that I would read. It was definitely a point where my mom threw them in the garbage. But I later got to tell her. Yeah, I later got to tell Clive Barker that story.
Yeah. Here's a thought: the law of attraction. If I am just like listening to the blackest of death metal like all the time, just wearing depressing stuff. I mean, I'm going to attract my life kind of being like a dark bummer in a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen. You've definitely known people who went that way. I'll say that. But again, they were just sort of left with it. I think still. For a good example, I was just telling someone today that I love horror, but I've never been a true crime person. And people always seem shocked when they find out I'm not into true crime, that I don't that I don't listen to true crime podcasts or watch true crime shows or series. And I'm like, God, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, no, it makes a lot of sense because I don't find real ass murder to be entertaining.
No, yeah, one of the podcasts I listen to is, like they kind of alternate between like whack conspiracy dives and true crime, and I always just skip the true crime ones, but I think those are the ones that are actually successful for them. So
wow. I mean, no, it's super popular.
Yeah, like TV is half of TV is like true crime stuff, right?
I know. God, it's like, just let me watch the new Texas Chainsaw. It's over in an hour and a half, and it's never possibly happen.
Any more perversions you want to mention?
Well, we can mention the stuff that I make.
Go for it.
I don't believe it's pervert, and if it is, who cares? My friends and I here in Athens, Georgia.
Hold on, before you get too deep, just imagine that Lonely Island creep image of John Waters, the pervert, and then you can proceed.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Yeah, no, we really are very heavily influenced by John. I would say John Waters is like a guiding light for what we do. Our current movie that's in the works is called Jugsaw, Jugsaw. I don't know when this particular episode is going to come out, but our premiere screening is July the 2nd at the Metropolitan Studios in East Atlanta Village. And it's free. If you're in that area, it's free. Come watch.
Hey, this is Aural Hygiene. We're Aural Hygiene Pod on Twitter, on Facebook. We do podcasts with other people under the Patreon umbrella of Podcastio Podcastius. You can hear about sci-fi films. You can hear about the Twilight Zone, Pokemon, video games, that sort of thing. Throw us a buck if you feel like it, or just head there and you get all the links and you see where everything is in one tiny spots. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to go get a nice glass of warm milk and sit back with some hardcore mail order pornography.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of oil myself up and cook some chicken on my arm.
I'm still thinking about that. Is the chicken raw or cooked already?
Oh, no, it has not been cooked.
Okay.
That's what's going to be next.
Is it a hot day? Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. Make the cut there. And I just told myself that if I can't find it. So, yeah. Okay. Tomorrow, I think I told you the Bizarro Occult Disney series, right?
Yes.
That starts tomorrow. It has a different theme song. I'll preview the theme song because I'm proud of it.
I would love to hear that.
I mean, it comes out within 24 hours. Well, yeah, whatever. Let's see. I need to go to. Trying to remember where my shit is. Okay, transistor. Time enough. Aural Hygiene episodes. I think you have heard the song before. Just
Yeah, but
I
I'm always like kind of taken aback because if I'm familiar with the song and then, but depending on how it ends up getting used, sometimes I've noticed there's different lyrics to things or some things change,
the main thing is I've added my psychotic Mickey Mouse voicing. So
That's great. Oh, I can't wait.
here we go.
Hey kids, it's Occult Disney with Aural Hygiene featuring the Paranoid American. This week, Fantasia.
There we go. I was trying to go for the kind of the South Park Mickey Mouse, the psychotic
No,
one.
it really is. Like, I believe someone who was played that over and over again and put in a box. I believe they would go insane swiftly.
And the guy that I've been talking to currently makes comic books based on conspiracy theory. So he's like, I made one. It's like he's not the artist. I guess he's the writer, but he's like, yeah, it's like in this, like, it's just assumed that Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing. That's not the point of the comic. The point is you see all of Kubrick's like office troubles, like while trying to do this, like, this, like his, the help is like having interpersonal problems. He's like insisting that they get this asteroid from Antarctica to put on the set. But yeah, but he worked in the, remember the Fishbowl at MGM Hollywood Studios?
Yeah.
He said he worked in the Fishbowl for like a decade.
Wow.
And did the art direction for like the interactive stuff you'd see coming off of the ride. Like you come off of Spaceship Earth and it had all the interactive displays. So apparently that was his job at the time. So
that is awesome, man.
So we are getting into weird occult-y, not so much conspiratorial, more occult-y stuff. But I'm like, it's also like we're not like, oh, they're trying to like program people. It's like, oh, we do like this stuff. We're just breaking down all this crazy shit in there.
Yeah. No, I mean, as long as you stay kind of zoomed out about the whole thing, just kind of looking at it from on the outside, not as taking any particular opinion.
Like we did a Pinocchio a few days ago, and but somehow managed not to say the words pizza, Epstein, or elite anywhere in it. So
that must have been really tough.
Well, it did as like a Gnostic breakdown. It was in my notes. It's just, yeah. So it's because like I'm like now, like he said he came up with his name in 2012. I'm like, okay, in 2012, Paranoid American seems kind of cool. Now it sounds like some like fucking alt-right thing, but I mean, well, just putting American in your name at this point sounds like you're being ultra right wing.
Did your dad kind of get off of that? I remember at one point he had kind of
shit
gone
posting.
through yeah.
Yeah, I know I called him out on at some point. What got to the point where he was like referring to like fucking TV political commentators. So at some point it just became gibberish, and I didn't even know what he was saying. I was like, I'm guessing this is probably like some weird conservative shit, but I don't even understand what he's trying to say. So that was kind of better in a way.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I just didn't know if it was just like a particular phase or climate thing that was happening in or what, because I completely I thought he'd gotten hacked is what I thought happened. I was like, oh no, somebody hacked his account. But I've had that, other people too, around that same time period. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like, I don't post my opinions to social media unless it's not, and I was about saying unless it's a movie, but I don't even do that, I just promote like stuff I'm doing, maybe put a picture of something, because if I wanted to engage about an interesting topic, well, I do always podcast, I can do it there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a good way to think about it, because there's enough of it on social media already. It's like, have I seen absolute shit movies? They're a waste of my time. Absolutely, yeah. But it's like, I don't know, you don't even have to throw a rock to find some of that kind of stuff already online. So
I do most of my social meeting these days in like the Star Trek Discord, Well, it's like if I post fruity pictures to Facebook, like I might have like some great aunt that I can't remember comment on that's nice, right? At least within the if someone notices over there, it's like more engaging.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's pretty true. It's
Yeah.
pretty true. I mean, plus, it will go over differently because of the expectations there. Whereas, I had myself in a Michelle Obama 2020 T-shirt, and one of my aunts from Tennessee was like, "Why?"
Why not? It's a T-shirt.
Well, I was like, "Uh-oh, who? I don't even remember you. Like, why are you? What is this?"
Well, to pacify, you can scratch out Michelle and write Michael underneath it, and look out! I fixed it.
Look at me.
I like that story. I think that's fantastic if it's true.
Yeah, no, I don't know for a fact. Some things are, it's like, okay, well, this would be amazing, but something tells me probably.
No, I'm like, if I were to find out that the Obamas were a secretly gay couple that whole time, I'd be like, that's fantastic. That's amazing.
I was gonna say I'd vote for him again.
Yeah, no, you can't. He did his 2 terms.
It's true. The gay, but no, if they turn gay, I think that the rule is then like obsolete.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I probably should get on my roll towards work and stuff since I didn't take a shower yet. Oh, I actually forgot what date you spit out. I think I can spit out when this actually comes out. I'm basically we're doing we still gotta do Dumbo. So the next kind of series is the pre-war Disney movies. And we'll see what happens after that. Episodes past for June 25th. June 25th. July 9th. I don't remember what date you said. It's probably before that.
Well, just a little bit though. I mean, it's not a big deal to me.
Yeah. If people can, if you don't have to try and travel much, just a few days.
Wow, that's the thing. They hear July 2nd, they go, "Oh well, this was recorded before then, obviously." And then that's it. All right, man. We'll be cool. I'll see you on the next one, dude.
Later. Oh, I never hit the not recording. People heard that shit. Okay.